Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into Instagram stories. How to turn those fleeting moments into a sales machine,
Yeah.
which I'm sure many of our listeners are curious about.
Oh, yeah.
So for this deep dive, we're focusing on one source, a masterclass by an entrepreneur who claims to have made over 3 million euros in a year using only Instagram stories.
Wow.
I know, pretty impressive, right?
Yeah. Very.
And he says he did this with an average of just 10,000 story views.
Which is crazy.
I know. It makes you think you don't need millions of followers to be successful.
It really challenges that whole idea, doesn't it?
It does. So how is that even possible? Well, that's what we're going to unpack today.
Yeah, we'll break down his strategies and pull out the stuff you can actually use.
That's what we're here for.
Like golden nuggets.
Golden nuggets, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first.
Right.
This entrepreneur actually claims that Instagram stories are the most powerful sales tool out there, even more so than posts, reels, or even YouTube videos.
It's interesting.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, it is a bold claim.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, stories, they disappear, right? You have to be there or you'll miss it.
Right.
That creates a real sense of urgency.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that fear of missing out.
And exclusivity.
Oh, yeah, exclusivity.
Which we all know is like,
It's like marketing gold.
oh, yeah.
Really?
So how does he actually use stories to make sales?
Yeah, how does he do it?
Well, he breaks down his strategy into 7 types of content,
Okay.
which we're going to get into.
Right?
And some of them are pretty unexpected.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's
Hear it.
start with something familiar.
Okay.
Lifestyle content.
Oh, yeah.
We see it all the time on Instagram,
All the time.
but he uses it in a very specific way.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Like everyday moments.
Right. Your morning coffee,
Yeah,
a walk in the park,
exactly.
nothing salesy.
Right. Not directly salesy. He calls this lubricating.
Lubricating.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like think of it like the appetizer before the main course
Right.
or the transitions in a movie.
Right.
It just makes the whole viewing experience smoother and more enjoyable.
Okay, so it's like setting the stage.
Yeah.
But does it actually,
It does more than that.
oh, okay.
It makes you more relatable.
Relatable how?
It shows you're not just a faceless brand.
Right.
You're a person, a real person.
With a life?
Yeah, with a life outside of work.
Right.
That human touch is really important for building trust and engagement.
Yeah, people buy from people,
Exactly.
not brands.
Not from polished brands.
Not always, at least.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, he makes another interesting distinction when it comes to creating content. He talks about 2 approaches. Smart content
Smart content.
and good-looking content.
Or looking. Okay.
Right.
I've never heard it put that way.
So smart content, that's all about providing valuable information.
Like insights, teaching something new.
Tutorials, tips, how-tos.
Yeah, things like that.
Okay.
That kind of content positions you as an expert.
Right. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And you build authority that way.
So, for example, if I'm a fitness coach,
Yeah.
a smart story could be a quick workout routine
Perfect example.
or like a tip on proper form or something.
Exactly.
Okay, and then what about good-looking content?
So good-looking content is more about visual appeal
Okay.
and that emotional connection.
Okay.
So it might be a beautiful shot of your product
Right.
or a behind-the-scenes look at your process
Yeah.
or a funny moment from your day.
Like aspirational maybe.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want that lifestyle.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he stresses that both types of content are important
Right.
for a balanced strategy.
It's like finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between educating and entertaining.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, let's move on to the next type of content.
Okay.
He calls this content lines.
Content lines.
Right.
And this is where things start to get really strategic.
Oh, I like where this is going.
So content lines, they're basically ongoing narratives
Okay.
that unfold over multiple stories.
So it's like a mini series.
Yes.
Exactly.
On Instagram.
Think of it that way.
Instead of just posting random disconnected stories
Right. You're creating an arc.
that keeps people hooked.
Exactly. And he says good storytelling is key.
Makes sense.
He actually shares the story about how he turned a simple dog sitting experience
Right.
into a multi-day content line
Oh.
that had his followers glued to their screens.
So it's not just about documenting what you're doing.
It's about the story.
Right.
You have to make it compelling.
Turn it into a story.
Yes.
With a beginning, middle, and end.
He actually reminds us that great stories have heroes and goals and obstacles,
Yeah.
all those elements to keep people engaged.
So for example,
Yeah.
if you're launching a new product,
Yeah.
You could create a content line that documents the entire process,
That's a good one.
the challenges you faced, and then, of course, the final product.
You got it.
Okay.
The possibilities are endless, really.
Yeah.
But the key is to think about how you can make it a captivating story.
For your audience.
Yes.
It resonates with them.
Now, he also talks about something called day in the life content.
Day in the life.
Yeah.
Sounds a little bit different.
Yeah, it is different.
Than content lines.
Think of it as a self-contained narrative
Okay.
that unfolds over a single day,
Okay.
a little snapshot of your world.
So it's different from content lines because it doesn't span multiple days.
Right.
And it's different from lifestyle content because it has more of a planned narrative.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like a...
Like a mini movie
Yeah.
that gives your followers a glimpse into your life.
Okay, this is fascinating stuff.
Right.
We've got lifestyle content, content lines, day in the life content.
There's more.
What else is on the menu?
Now we're getting to the good stuff. Value content.
Ooh, value content.
This is where you really establish yourself as an expert.
Okay.
You know, you provide that valuable information that your audience can actually use.
This is where you show off your skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Your knowledge.
He gives this example of sharing his insights on investing in yourself.
Oh.
You know, he breaks it down, provides tips, and makes it easy for people to apply it to their own lives.
So if you're a chef, for instance,
Yeah.
you might share some tips on how to cook a specific recipe.
Right. Or if you're a graphic designer,
Yeah.
you could share tips on choosing the right color palettes.
Okay.
The key is to provide real, tangible value.
That people can use.
Yes.
This is so smart.
Right.
Okay, hit me with the next content type.
Okay, get ready for this one.
Okay.
He calls it infannouncements.
Infannouncements.
Yeah.
What in the world is an infannouncement?
So it's basically, he describes it as an event,
Okay.
either online or offline,
Yep.
that grabs attention
Hmm.
and communicates a message.
Okay, give me an example. I need to wrap my head around this.
Well, he actually used billboards
Billboard?
as infannouncements.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, he put up these billboards around his city that were really cryptic
Okay,
to spark curiosity and get people talking.
okay.
And then he revealed the meaning behind the billboards in his Instagram stories.
Oh, so it's like a multi-platform kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's not just about the billboard itself,
right.
but it's kind of like...
It's a launch pad
Yeah.
for a larger story
Okay.
that unfolds on Instagram.
Okay, but what makes it an infannouncement?
Well, it's disruptive.
Right.
It's not your typical ad.
Right.
It's unexpected.
Okay.
It makes people think.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
What's that about?
What's
It's like,
going on here?
yeah, like a mystery you have to solve.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so billboards are one example. What are some other infannouncements?
He also talks about using social experiments.
Oh, okay.
Imagine staging a social experiment. Okay.
In a public place
Right.
that raises awareness for an issue
Okay.
or challenges some common belief.
Okay.
And then you document the experiment
Okay.
and share the results in your stories.
Oh, so it's like
So-
guerrilla marketing meets Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
And the great thing is it doesn't have to be expensive
Right.
or super complicated.
Okay.
It's just about finding creative ways to stand out.
Okay. This is inspiring.
Right.
Okay. What's next?
All right, get ready to get personal.
Oh, okay.
This one's called Confessions.
Confessions.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So this is where you share your vulnerabilities,
Okay.
your struggles, the things that don't usually make it to your Instagram feed.
Like behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Stop breaking down that wall.
Between you and your followers, showing them you're a real person.
Yeah. He talks about the power of vulnerability
Uh-huh.
in building trust and connection.
Yeah. I think we all crave that authenticity,
Especially online,
especially online.
where everything can feel
So polished.
so perfect
It's refreshing to see someone be real.
with their flaws.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
So he gives examples of how he's shared his own mistakes, his fears,
Okay.
and the response has been incredible.
People can relate to that.
Yeah, they appreciate the honesty.
This is really powerful stuff.
It is.
Okay, what's the final content type?
Last but not least, we have audience interaction.
Audience interacting.
This is all about creating a two-way conversation,
Okay,
making your followers feel like they're part of your journey.
I love that.
It's not just about talking at them.
It's a community.
Yeah, it's a community.
Okay, how do you do it?
Yeah, he suggests 3 things. First, share audience reactions to your stories. It
Yep.
shows you're listening.
Right.
Second, answer questions from your followers.
Okay, that makes sense.
That provides value
Yeah.
and builds relationships. And finally, create content based on their comments.
Okay.
Shows you're paying attention.
You're listening.
Yeah, and that you value their input.
So it's about making your followers feel seen and heard,
Yeah, exactly.
which is so important.
It is.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
7 content types, from lifestyle content to audience interaction.
Yeah,
My head is spinning with ideas,
I bet.
but I'm wondering how to put this all together.
Into a strategy.
Yeah, it seems like a lot to juggle.
It can feel overwhelming.
Mm.
But don't worry, he provides a roadmap.
He does.
He does.
Oh, okay.
He actually shares a sample weekly schedule
Interesting.
for incorporating all these content types.
Oh,
And we're going to break it down for you.
I can't wait to hear about this schedule.
Yeah.
But before we get into that,
Yeah.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are you most excited to try?
Let us know in the comments.
And we'll be back to break it all down in part 2.
Yeah, we'll dive into that weekly schedule in part 2.
Can't wait.
See you there.
All right, see you then.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We just went through 7 types of Instagram story content.
So much content.
So much.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk strategy.
That's right.
You know, remember that weekly schedule he talks about?
Yeah, the sample schedule.
We're going to unpack it.
Yes. I want to know how he actually structures his week to incorporate all these different content types.
Well, he starts the week strong with lifestyle content.
On Monday,
Yeah, Monday.
people are getting back into the swing of things.
Exactly. So you want to ease them in with something relatable.
Right. Set the tone for the week,
Yeah, remind people who you are, why they should stick around.
what you're about.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday.
Tuesday is content line day.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you start building that narrative that keeps people coming back.
So you might introduce a new project, a challenge you're facing, something like that.
Right, or a goal you're trying to achieve.
And you weave that throughout the week.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Wednesday,
Wednesday is all about valuable content.
the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Sharing your expertise.
This is where you shine.
This is where you prove yourself.
Yeah, you provide those actionable tips.
Right. Establish yourself as an authority.
Exact.
Tutorials, how-tos, those sorts of things.
All those tips and tricks.
And then Thursday.
Thursday is where things get interesting.
All right, I'm ready.
He unleashes an info-announcement.
Oh, yes, the info-announcements.
Remember those?
I do.
Those attention-grabbing events.
The stunts?
Yeah, the stuff.
Get people talking?
Exactly. Create a buzz.
I like it.
Spurt curiosity. Drive traffic to your stories.
You've got to think outside the box here.
Really push the boundaries.
And then Friday.
Friday is all about community, audience interaction.
Connecting with your audience.
Yeah. Respond to those comments. Answer questions. You know.
Make them feel heard,
Yeah.
appreciated.
Exactly.
Plus,
Saturday gets a little more personal.
Oh, confession.
Confessions. Yeah.
Okay.
This is where you show your vulnerable side.
Peel back the curtain a bit.
Yeah. Share a mistake, a challenge you're facing, a lesson you learn.
Right, show them you're human,
Yeah. You're not perfect.
which I think is so important.
It is.
In today's world where everything's so filtered,
Exactly.
it's refreshing to see that.
Absolutely.
And then Sunday,
Sunday, we wrap things up with some lifestyle content.
back to lifestyle.
Yeah, keep it light.
Show your personality.
Connect on a personal level.
Okay,
And then set a positive tone for the week ahead.
I like that.
So the schedule is a great framework.
Yeah,
But remember, adapt it to your own audience.
your industry, your goals,
Experiment. See what works for you.
and be consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Show up regularly.
Provide value.
And don't forget the call to action.
Yeah, every story should have a purpose.
What do you want your viewers to do?
Exactly. Make it clear.
Guide them.
Guide them.
So he also emphasizes paying attention to your analytics.
Oh, yeah, the data. It's important.
Instagram gives you so much information.
It does.
Pay attention to things like reach, engagement, click-through rates.
See what's working.
See what's not working.
Yeah.
What's resonating with your audience.
Exactly.
This masterclass is a game changer,
It really is.
packed with strategies and insights
It's actionable stuff.
that you can use.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the final part,
The last section.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are your biggest takeaways so far?
What are you most excited to implement?
Share your thoughts in the comments
We'll be right back.
with the final part of our deep dive. Okay, we're back for the final part of our deep dive. We've talked about content types, we've talked about scheduling, and now I'm really curious.
Yeah.
What is this entrepreneur's big takeaway?
You know, what does he really want us to remember?
Yeah.
Well, he actually says it's all about the why
The why.
behind your Instagram stories.
Okay.
He says, like, it's not enough to just create content.
Just to post.
Yeah, just for the sake of posting. Right.
You need a purpose, a message you want to share with the world.
So don't get lost in the tactics.
Right.
Remember your story.
Like, what impact do you want to have?
On your audience.
Yeah, what do you want them to feel?
Or
Do after watching your stories?
so once you have that,
Yeah,
that becomes your guiding star.
exactly.
It helps you choose the right content, craft the right message.
Connect with your audience on a deeper level.
So it's not just about randomly posting.
It's about having a plan,
But strategy.
a strategy, yeah.
And then he wraps up the masterclass with a really good call to action.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
He encourages us to take what we've learned and actually use it.
Put it into practice.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Try new things.
See what works for you and your audience.
Because there's no one-size-fits-all
Yeah.
for Instagram.
And he also stresses that building a successful presence on Instagram takes time.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight.
It takes effort.
Consistency. You've got to keep learning. You've got to keep growing.
And then you can achieve amazing things.
This has been a really insightful deep dive.
It has.
So much valuable information.
Into one masterclass.
I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for Instagram stories.
And it all starts with that why.
That's our final thought for you today.
What's your why?
What message are you trying to share with the world?
Figure that out.
And the rest will fall into place.
It will.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of Instagram stories.
Keep learning, keep experimenting.
Keep diving deep.
We'll see you in the next episode.
See you then.